from Idaho's News Channel 7, this is the Saturday Morning News.
Welcome to the Saturday Morning News. I'm Brenda Rodriguez. Today is a very special day here in the Treasure Valley. Governor Little and Boise Mayor McLean proclaimed today, Saturday, June 25th, Be Like Larry Day of Service to honor our beloved friend, weatherman, and KTVB community service champion, Larry Gebert. Our KTVB team is already out there honoring the community and honoring this day. We're going to check in with them. They're in a couple locations here in the Treasure Valley, so we'll check in with them. But before that, here's what you need to know to get your morning started. Well, we start with this. A homicide investigation is underway in Hayburn. Police say Hayburn City and Minidoka County officers responded to a shooting. Police say one person is in custody and there is no threat to the public there. We'll update you once we learn more information.
Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand back! Fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What right we do?
Signs and chants as hundreds gathered in downtown Boise last night, just hours after the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. That's what it looked like in downtown Boise. In cities across the country yesterday. Here in Idaho, the decision means abortions will soon be banned in most cases, and we'll have that more on that in just a minute. But first, President Biden condemned yesterday's decision, declaring that Roe will be on the ballot in this fall's midterm elections. Here's NBC's Peter Alexander.
A somber President Biden tonight declaring this a low moment for the nation's highest court.
It's a sad day for the court and for the country. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk.
The White House mindful of how personal this ruling is, inviting more than a dozen senior aides, all women, to witness the president calling the decision the result of an extreme ideology.
It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset the balance of our law.
Top Republicans touting the ruling as a hard-won victory.
The right to life has been vindicated. The voiceless will finally have a voice.
It will save countless innocent children.
2 prominent senators now suggest they were misled by assurances made during recent confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade's an important precedent of the Supreme Court.
A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Republican Susan Collins slamming today's decision as inconsistent with those justices' testimony. So what comes next? With his authority limited tonight, President Biden's calling on Congress to guarantee the right to an abortion. But Senate Democrats currently do not have the votes for that. The president vowing his administration will protect women's access to FDA-approved medications like abortion pills and contraception, and promising to defend a woman's ability to travel to other states where abortion remains legal. 63% of Americans do not believe Roe should be overturned. Democrats, including the nation's first woman vice president, hoping to redirect that outrage to this fall's midterm elections.
You have the final word. So this is not over.
This fall, Roe is on the ballot.
A defining cultural clash in a country now even more deeply divided.
And following yesterday's Supreme Court decision, it now means several states across the country are planning to ban abortions or put new restrictions in place. 13 states have trigger laws, including Idaho. Idaho's current trigger law has passed in 2020. It will take effect about 60 days from now, 30 days after the Supreme Court issues a formal judgment, which is expected in late July. The law makes abortion a felony in Idaho, with exceptions only to save the life of the mother or for cases of rape or incest if police report is provided. Pregnant women in Idaho seeking abortions will have to travel out of state with the nearest abortion providers in Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Colorado. And reactions is continuing to pour in. They range from support to extreme criticism. Republican Idaho Representative Megan Blacksmith drafted the 2020 bill that will soon be in law.
I think it's a major win for Idaho. I mean, we are always talking about family values and what Idaho means to Idahoans, and I think this is a major deal. We are big believers in families and preserving families, and this is just one more step forward to strengthen that in the state. And I am proud to be a part of the state that's doing that.
Idaho Democrats say new laws like Idaho's trigger law will unfairly impact specific groups of women.
I think anybody with financial means is going to go to a state where it's legal. So the impact really will be on those very, very poor women, those women on the margins of society who don't have the money to head to Oregon for a day or two, who can't take the day off work, and they are likely to seek unsafe and illegal means, frankly, to get an abortion. But I think, the actual reduction in abortions is going to be trivial, if any, and it's going to impact those very lowest income folks who are already having the biggest challenges in their lives.
And the Idaho trigger law is expected to go into effect in August. And just like I mentioned earlier, today is Be Like Larry Day of service in honor of our beloved friend, weatherman, and KTVB community service champion Larry Gebert, who passed away in early April. Today would have been Larry's 66th birthday. Here at KTVB, we're celebrating how Larry would have celebrated, and that was by giving back. Governor Little and Boise Mayor McLean have even proclaimed Saturday, June 25th as a day of service, something his family says speaks volumes to who Larry was.
I think doing nice things just spreads, and I think that's one thing. Larry has a big impact on the community, is that he did nice things every single day, and I think he's gone now, and I think that's actually something that's we have to continue it because he's gone and he can't do it anymore, and so it's up to us.
And we'd also love for you to get involved either on your own or with us. You can share your acts of kindness and take your photos with the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. And for more details on how you can participate, visit our event guide on our website at ktvb.com. Or text the word Larry to the number that you see there on your screen, 208-321-5614, and a link to more information will be sent directly to your phone. And our KTVB team is out in the community right now, including our meteorologist, Bree Eggers. Bree, where are you this morning?
Brenda, a place that Larry loved. Larry loved Zoo Boise, and we're actually in front of the prairie dog exhibit. That's the Larry Gebert prairie dog exhibit. And check it out. We'll call it the Prairie Dog exhibit today. And Jeff Augusta with Zoo Boise. We are going to be volunteering here a little bit later because Zoo Boise does really need and rely on the volunteer efforts from people in our community. So a great place to come out and help out and be like Larry, hashtag be like Larry, and a great day to do it. Our weather could not be better. We keep saying it. We've said it all week long. This is actually probably the weekend that we've all been waiting for, finally feeling and looking a whole lot more like summer should, because before last weekend, we had 7 weekends in a row with precipitation on every weekend day. It was pretty incredible how wet and very spring-like our conditions were until we finally made it officially into summer. So a really nice day to get out and enjoy, and just a small act of service, just something, pick up a water bottle that you see on the side of the street, or if you're walking through the park today, it doesn't have to be something that you go out of your way to do, but just be thinking with that mind of service through our day today. Temperatures right now are in the 50s, but as we have lots of sunshine to enjoy today, our temperatures will respond accordingly, and it heats up rather quickly. So if you're trying to beat the heat of the day, get out before 10, 11 a.m. We're headed for highs this afternoon in the mid to upper 80s for the Treasure Valley, 70s for our mountain valleys, and it gets even hotter for the second half of the weekend. So again, the summer weekend that we've all been waiting for, and the heat is a little more moderate today in comparison to getting into the 90s tomorrow. So for any of your acts of service, your volunteer efforts, maybe today is the better of the 2 weekend days to do so. We'd love to see you out here or throughout our community. And as Brenda mentioned before, we're going to be checking in with the entire KTVB team sprinkled throughout the Treasure Valley all throughout the morning. So much more to come. But for now, we're live at the Larry Gebert Prairie Dog exhibit at Zoo Boise. And I'll send it back to you, Brenda.
Thank you, Bree. Well, we'll hear more about this, but Monday will be the first day we see triple-digit temperatures this year, and it comes as the 2022 Boise River float season begins. Ada County Parks and Waterways announced yesterday that float season will officially start on Monday, June 27th. It's a tradition for so many Idahoans to get out on the river this time of year. This also means starting Monday, equipment rentals and shuttle services and snack shacks will also be up and running.
Please, please, bring Michael home, please, please, please.
The search continues for Michael Vaughn, the Fruitland boy who went missing nearly a year ago. Yesterday was his 6th birthday. Community members gathered yesterday to honor Michael and support his family. Our Tristan Lewis was there with the family yesterday and gives us the details.
Blue balloons take to the sky in honor of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughn.
I hope he sees him.
Friday is Michael's 6th birthday.
Today is about his beautiful face and his life that was brought here to us and everyone here 6 years ago.
The first time in 6 years his family celebrated the day without him.
He's beyond missed and beyond loved, and we need him. We need him.
Michael went missing on July 27th, 2021. Nearly a year later, not many details have been released in the investigation as to what happened to him. But Michael's family continues to stay hopeful.
He's coming home, and we're waiting for him. We're all waiting for him. Every single one of us are waiting for him, and we are going to bring him home.
Community members, many who say they've never even met Michael or did not know his family a year ago, continue to step up to help.
This is a hard day for anybody, and there's no map to this or, how to do this.
Cassidy Burns, who owns Broken Halo Barbershop in Payette, says she works constantly to get Michael's story out into the world.
We need to continue to share his face and support the family as much as possible.
Sharing Michael's face is something Jamie Toscano tries to do as much as she can, too.
I mean, I wear this when I go places and for any events and stuff, and my kids, I put pins on them too whenever we're going anywhere with high, traffic of people, and sometimes we get stopped and asked.
Michael's family says seeing the support from their community is nice. They just hope Michael will one day soon see how much he is loved in person again.
We won't ever give up. We have to stay vigilant, and as hard as it is some days, and bring him home.
We're going to bring him home. That's what drives us, because we know he's out there somewhere, and we're not going to stop.
And investigators were not able to talk on Friday. Earlier this month, Chief J.D. Huff told us he was not able to release any names of person of interest, but he says that they may have, many of them, they are working through every new lead and have been able to clear many of those leads. Fruitland Police are continuing to work with their partners and with the FBI, along with the Idaho State Police. Huff calls this a criminal investigation. Law enforcement working on this case have said that it is highly likely Michael has been abducted, and anyone with more information is asked to reach out to Fruitland Police or the Payette Sheriff's Department. Well, so far, it's been a great start to the Be Like Larry Day of Service. Many of you are already preparing to start your day of service. So after the break, we'll check in with Bree Eggers for a full look at your weekend weather. Stay with us.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert Weather.
We're live at Zoo Boise this morning for our first Be Like Larry Day. You can use the hashtag Be Like Larry. It's a whole day of service, and our KTVB team will be all throughout the community today helping out in different volunteer efforts, and we'd really like you to be part of the efforts as well, even if it is just something as simple as see a piece of trash, pick it up, put it in the trash bin, just to celebrate our good friend and wonderful philanthropist, Larry Gebert, on his 66th birthday, which is today. And so Zoo Boise, one of those places where he was live so many times, countless times. And we found out today, we're meeting a new friend. This is Mr. Mac, and he's on the move right now. Slow and steady wins the race, buddy. 400 pounds, 100 years old. Mr. Mac has what it takes. And so I was chatting with Mr. Mac earlier today, and I said, buddy, since you've been here since the 70s, there were probably several times that you did live shots with Mr. Larry Gebert. And he did have some stories to tell. They were very slow in how he was speaking, obviously, but he also has some other things to do this morning. But every once in a while, he does take a little bit of a rest. So anyway, we're back here at Zoo Boise to, the volunteers are so important to Zoo Boise to make sure that they're keeping the grounds clean. It's such an important part of our community as well. And it's a great day for this day of service as well. So we're going to take a look at the forecast for today. And we've been saying it all week long. I keep saying it over and over again, but this is the summer weekend that we've all been waiting for. While our temperatures are starting out on that kind of crisp and cool note, we're in the 50s and even some upper 40s earlier this morning throughout the Treasure Valley. We will be warming up rather quickly because we have brilliant blue skies, a whole lot of sunshine to enjoy, and that goes for our mountain communities as well. I know it's been every friend, every person I've talked to has said, seems like every Sunday we've seen rain. And that is the case, at least for the last 7 weekends, save last weekend. So finally heating up, staying dry, and temperatures will be just barely above seasonal averages today in the mid to upper 80s for the Treasure Valley. Nice and hot and not a drop of rain for quite a change. So a great day to get outside, enjoy summer conditions, come on down to Zoo Boise and enjoy. Meet Mr. Mac, enjoy the Larry Gebert Prairie Dog exhibit, which was something that was, every time I told Larry that I was coming to the zoo, he would always say, make sure you stop by and you see the Larry Gebert Prairie Dog exhibit. And we always did, and we always took pictures by it. So we'd love to see you out here, and we also will be checking in with everybody throughout the community throughout the morning. The 7-day forecast, I hope you're prepared for it. We talked a little bit earlier about how river floating season will be opening, and it will be just in time for things to really heat up. So if you've been waiting for these summer temperatures, get ready for the hot to get even hotter. We're talking about our first triple-digit day of the season on Monday. Now, typically we would see that first 100-degree plus day somewhere around the first week of July. So it's not incredibly early. And in comparison to last year, we had our first triple-digit day on the 3rd of June. So a little more appropriate for end of June, beginning of July weather, but get ready for that heat. It will intensify as high pressure builds across the area, keeping things high and dry, as I like to say this time of year. So a lot of sunshine, no rain in the forecast, no thunderstorms in the forecast, just a lot of hot summer days to enjoy. So we're going to see if Mr. Mac makes it in for his morning cup of coffee and his breakfast. I'm sure that he'll get there before it really starts to heat up. And Doug's here with me as well.
Yeah.
So
good morning.
We've got a whole morning to enjoy.
Yeah, this is a perfect morning right now, and
Amazing.
I do think Mr. Mac's moving a little bit faster than I am so far
good point.
this morning, and he has made quite a bit of progress here. But yeah, it really feels good to be out here on what would have been Larry's birthday, as you mentioned, to do something that he loves. I'm not sure if you mentioned this yet, but he even talked about when he retired, he didn't want to have a big party. He wanted to have a day of community service. And so this goes right hand in hand with him and just his huge heart for the community. And so it feels good to be out and doing something that I'm sure Larry'd be proud of.
I know. And this is fun.
It is fun.
This is fun. Yeah. This is a fun way to do it. We're here with you can't see her, but our amazing photographer, Teresa, as well, who is always a great photographer for Larry as well. So
with him for so many years.
This is like a family celebration for us, too.
It is. Yeah. The KTVB family and the community family, too, because Larry just loved it so much to get out and help out.
Well, we have the whole morning ahead of us and the whole day as well. So we'll be back with much, much more right after this break.
Today is Be Like Larry Day of Service in honor of our friend, weatherman, and KTVB Community Service champion Larry Gebert, who passed away in early April. Today would have been Larry's birthday, and here at KTVB, we're celebrating how Larry would have celebrated, by giving back. To honor him, our Maggie O'Mara and Justin Cora are live right now from the Salvation Army. Maggie, Justin, looks like you got a good crowd out there.
Oh, we do, don't we, Justin?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Should we ask them? Are you guys ready to just paint some barrels here at Salvation Army in Boise? We are! I guess that's a yes.
I think that's a yes. You know, this is such a special day. We are so honored to be live today and doing an act of service in honor of Larry. This would have been his 66th birthday, and he loved the Salvation Army so much. So that's why we're here today. We're going to paint all these barrels. Check them out. And we're going to re-stencil them and get them ready for the holidays, which will be so important for everyone. And Justin, it's just a great day to get together and do something good.
Yeah, absolutely. And get on social media, hashtag Be Like Larry. Yes. Not just today, but throughout the year, give back to your community. Larry was very passionate about that. I was his morning live photog for a while. I did so many live shots just like this, saw people just like this, saw him give back to the community in these ways. So it's very appropriate, amazing to be doing this morning. It's something that I know he's loving right now.
And it feels good. It feels good. And I do want to mention I'm already getting some pictures from viewers who are doing good things in honor of Larry. So I have some notes here. The first set is wonderful chalk art, some photos that Angela Griffiths Dixon sent me, some beautiful photos that she did on the sidewalk in honor of Larry. Kindness, be like Larry, do something like Larry. And then Gina Murphy and her daughter painted these rocks in honor of Larry, and I think we have photos of those as well, some rock art to be kind, take care of each other, and just be like Larry. That's the hashtag. So if you're out and about today and you want to post your great deed, please do, and use the hashtag #BeLikeLarry.
And let's talk to someone else who knew Larry a little bit. Major Tom here with the Salvation Army. Major, can you talk a little bit about all the experiences you had with Larry and what that has meant to you in the Salvation Army?
Sure. Well, we've only been here a couple of years, so we got to meet Larry a few times, and those times were awesome. But I know that throughout the years, many other officers who have been here benefited from his work for kettle kickoffs and whatever fundraisers we could do. So he was a big supporter of the Salvation Army, and this is part of his legacy. So I'm sure he saw plenty of these barrels out and about, so it's kind of nice to touch them up. So
fantastic. Yeah. In honor of Larry. Thank you, Major. Really appreciate it. And we'll be getting to work here pretty soon. We'll fuel up with some coffee and donuts, and then we'll get going, though. Get some work done in honor of Larry. Maggie, it's just you're right. It does feel great. Not just giving back to the community, but also knowing that, this is exactly what Larry would have wanted.
Oh, he would. He would have loved this. And so that's why it makes it extra special to all of our hearts. It is a bittersweet day as well. But we're together, and that's the best part. We hope you'll join us and be a part of this special day. You can just do anything. You can buy a coffee for someone. You can pull a weed. You can throw something in the garbage. You can do anything that makes you feel good and like you're giving back to the community. That's all it takes. And once again, share photos, videos, whatever you want to do on social media. We'll find those with the hashtag ¡BeLikeLarry.
Back to you, Brenda. I think
I think we've said it all.
Yeah, Maggie's done this for a while. I guess she's pretty good at that, Brenda. So, yeah, get out there, make a difference.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Justin, Maggie, thank you so much. And like they mentioned, we'd love for you to get involved either on your own or with us. You can share your acts of kindness and take your photos with the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. For more details and how you can participate, visit our event guide on our website at ktvb.com or text the word Larry to the number that you see on your screen, 208-321-5614, and a link to more information will be sent directly to your phone. We'll be right back after this quick break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, here's a reminder for you. Don't leave pets in hot cars. As temperatures heat up, it's something we hear every year around this time, but sadly, it's not a reminder everyone listens to. We caught up with the Idaho Humane Society yesterday after a dog died when its owner left it inside a hot car.
Later, our dispatch received a call that there was a dog locked in a hot vehicle.
It's something we hear about every year. Hot days means hot cars for your pets. Christine Shellhouse is the communications manager for the Idaho Humane Society. She says on Wednesday, a dog died after its owner left it in a hot car in Meridian. They say the truck was parked in the sun with the windows cracked At that time, it was 84 degrees outside. But inside the car, the temperature reached 147 degrees.
This death was completely preventable. This person chose to put their dog in a car, and we really recommend leaving your pets at home.
If you can't do that, she says, come up with a plan.
If possible, leave an adult in the car. If you must, take your pet with you with the air conditioner running. Lock your pet in for safety. Again, the AC has to be on. Also know the limitations of your vehicle. A lot of people think they're fine with the auto start, but most vehicles will shut off after 10 minutes or so.
Just for perspective, we conducted our own experiment. So we bought a thermometer to show the difference between the temperatures out here versus inside of a car. Now, right now here in the KTVB parking lot, it's about 88 degrees. So we're gonna take this thermometer and stick it right here in the back seat. All right, so we left the thermometer inside this car right here for about 35 minutes. Now, right now here in the parking lot, it's still 88 degrees, but inside the car, all right, so we're in the car right now, and as you can see on the thermometer, it's about at 110, so 110 degrees, and that's about a 20-degree difference compared to outside. Christine says if you witness a pet in a car, there are some things to consider.
In the city of Boise, it is legal per the ordinance to break a window, but there's a lot of risk that comes with it and regulations. The first thing you must do if you see a pet in distress is call 911. That dispatcher or the police have to give permission to break the vehicle, otherwise you could be liable. Secondarily, you must remain with the pet until the police come there. So it's one of those things where you're still taking a risk by rescuing the pet, and that's something that each person has to make.
Just another reminder to look before you lock.
Really disheartening. These pets suffer. This is not the first pet that had died, and those animals that live can have lifelong consequences.
And last year, the Idaho Humane Society received more than 400 calls of pets locked in hot vehicles. The owner was cited for neglect and cruelty and will face prosecution. If you witness an animal in distress, call Animal Care and Control at 208-343-3166. We'll be right back after this quick break. Stay with us.
From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is the Saturday Morning News.
Abortions in Idaho will soon be banned in most cases. This after the U.S. Supreme Court voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Several states across the country are now planning to ban abortions or put new restrictions in place. 13 states have trigger laws, including here in Idaho. Idaho's current trigger law passed in 2020. It'll take effect about 60 days from now, 30 days after the Supreme Court issued a formal judgment, which is expected in late July. The law makes abortion a felony in Idaho, with exceptions only to save the life of the mother or for cases of rape or incest if a police report is provided. Pregnant women in Idaho seeking abortions will have to travel out of state, with the nearest abortion providers in Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Colorado.
My stomach dropped. I felt really, really sad. I knew it was coming, but this was something that just was heartbreaking to think that it really, truly did happen.
And people on both sides of the aisle were speaking out yesterday about the Supreme Court's landmark ruling. Some who support its decision to strike down Roe v. Wade, and some who are passionately against overturning the nearly 50-year precedent. Yesterday, we went to downtown Boise to hear your thoughts on this. Those who considered themselves pro-life were not willing to speak with us on camera. Most of them said they don't feel comfortable coming out publicly with that opinion. Others told us the right to abortion is a private and personal health care decision.
Especially living in a state like Idaho, it's really scary to just think that, especially when they can take away such a fundamental right as right to health care, that they'll continue to take away other things.
And we also spoke with Planned Parenthood, who says that they will be working with other neighboring states that have accessible abortions, but lower income and rural people may have trouble getting to these states for an abortion. Planned Parenthood says that they are focusing on helping Idahoans who want abortions to get past those hurdles. Well, it is a Larry Gebert Day of Service today. Our Bree Eggers is at Zoo Boise this morning. Bree, many people will be honoring the day, so what can we expect?
Brenda, beautiful weather for anything that you want to do throughout this weekend. This is indeed the summer weekend that we've really all been waiting for. And like you mentioned, this is Be Like Larry Day of Service. And our KTVB team is all throughout the community doing random acts of kindness and also some volunteering efforts. And Zoo Boise, one place that Larry loved, and he was live here all the time, they rely heavily on volunteer efforts. And so from what I understand, we do have more than just me here, part of the team. Doug Petcash is here as well as our photographer, Teresa Palmgren. But I understand that we're going to be weed eating and gardening. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Creating enrichment for the animals.
And creating enrichment for the animals. And I might be able to feed some animals too. I mean, they got to eat. They got to eat. There's the fun part of it. But in any case, we have fantastic weather to do so. So it's been just a beautiful, crisp, comfortable morning with temperatures that really started in the low 50s for most of the Treasure Valley, even some upper 40s. So feeling like a cool start to a summer day, but things will be heating up rather quickly. Again, since the summer solstice was last Tuesday, the sunshine is at its strongest, warming and burning power. So if you are planning on being outside today, make sure you slather on the sunscreen, at least SPF 35, and maybe do so multiple times. We will have temperatures that heat up into the mid and upper 80s for the Treasure Valley today, and in the mid and upper 70s for our mountain valleys. It gets even hotter tomorrow, and if you've been really waiting to crank up the AC, if you've been really waiting for those hot Southern Idaho summer temperatures, you don't have to wait much longer because we will be into the triple digits for Monday. That will be our first triple digit day that we're expecting. So as high pressure continues to build across the region, our hot summer temperatures will get even hotter. But what a nice change from 7 straight weekends with rain on either one or both weekend days. We're keeping it high and dry today, and it is going to be a fantastic weekend to get outside. So much more to come from Zoo Boise, much more to come on your hot summer forecast. We'll get to all of that coming up in a little bit. Brenda?
Thanks, Bree. Well, it's been 1 month since the devastating school shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Yesterday, the House passed the most sweeping legislation designed to prevent gun violence in almost 30 years. The Senate passed the bill last night, or Thursday night, that is, and the vote was quickly passed on to the House before lawmakers before Washington for a 2-week recess. 14 Republicans voted with Democrats to support it, and the bill provides grants to states for red flag laws, enhancing background checks to include juvenile records, and close the boyfriend loophole. This means keeping guns away from non-spouse dating partners convicted of abuse. Now the bill makes its way to President Biden, who is expected to sign it into law. Well, now turning to COVID-19 vaccine information. COVID-19 vaccine appointments for younger kids are available now in the Treasure Valley. This week, Central District Health locations started administering shots for kids 6 months and older. There are still some appointments available at the Boise, McCall, and Mountain Home clinics. And to make an appointment, you can call Central Health's Family and Clinic Services at 208-324-7400. Today is Be Like Larry Day of Service to honor our friend Larry Gebert. Both Governor Brad Little and Boise Mayor Lauren McLean have even proclaimed Saturday Larry Gebert Day of Service. So today, help organize a service with your friends and family. You can volunteer at a nonprofit or just perform random acts of kindness, just like Bree and Maggie and Justin have been mentioning all morning, like mowing someone's lawn or making them dinner. KTVB's Doug Petcash recently sat down with his wife Julie and son Mike and David to find out about Larry's generous heart.
It's funny, we're talking, it's hard to come up with like specific stories because it was seriously every single day, all day, every day. If he saw someone that needed a little bit of help or advice or just needed to make them feel better about themselves, Larry was on it right away. It wasn't even a question.
Well, our KTVB team is in the community today. We'll continue to check with them throughout the show. You can also share your acts of kindness and take your photos with the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. And for more details on how you can participate, visit our event guide on our website at ktvb.com or text the word Larry to the number that you see on your screen, and a link to more information will be sent to your phone. We'll be right back after this quick break.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
What an awesome morning to be outside and at one of my favorite places, Zoo Boise, to celebrate Larry Gebert, a philanthropist, community service leader. He was an awesome meteorologist and he was a really good friend. And today would have been his 66th birthday. So it is Be Like Larry Day of Service. And that's why we're at Zoo Boise, is to, help out with some animal enrichment programs. We're going to be cleaning up the grounds. They rely really heavily on volunteer programs here at Zoo Boise and really around the community. So you're going to be hearing a lot about that throughout the day today. Actually, I wanted to show you our amazing shirts. I don't know if you've noticed this, but what you haven't probably seen yet is the back of the shirts are really cool as well. So if you see a blue shirt around the community today, then maybe that also inspires you to participate in this day of service. And it can really be something super simple. You're just, walking along the green belt, you see a little bit of trash and you pick it up and you put it in the trash can, because that's what Larry would have done. And as Doug Petcash has actually talked with his family, and he'd say, we knew Larry to be like this. He sees somebody struggling in the parking lot, or, he would fix a door with his pocket knife in between a live hit because the door was squeaking, and then he would explain to you what he did and what you can do to maintain that fix so that it never happens again, so it never squeaks again. But he really was always that guy that was lending a hand anywhere and everywhere and all the time. So we have a great day of weather to do any of those random acts of kindness or acts of service or volunteer work today, and a beautiful summer weekend to enjoy as well, and really probably the summer weekend that we've all been waiting for. So we have had, before last weekend, 7 weekends in a row with rain. I probably don't even need to tell you that. I think everybody kept saying, I try to make plans on Saturday or Sunday, and then the rain shows up. Yeah, so finally settling into summer, as summer has officially started for us, and the temperatures will be very summer-like today. While we've started in the cool upper 40s and low 50s for the Treasure Valley, it'll warm up really quickly under a lot of very strong sunshine today. So we're headed for the mid and upper 80s this afternoon and this evening. And because the summer solstice wasn't that long ago, we're still enjoying sunsets at 9:30 p.m. So enjoy those long summer evenings and really pleasant conditions as well. I know the last couple of days we've had some breezy conditions. That won't be the case today or tomorrow, keeping winds really light and great opportunities to get outside, even in our mountain communities, warming into the mid and upper 70s. As high pressure continues to build in for us, the heat gets even hotter. So while our temperatures today are just a few degrees above seasonal averages, tomorrow will be into the 90s, about 10 degrees above seasonal averages. And if you've been waiting for, that quintessential hot summer weather here in the Treasure Valley, it's on the way for us come Monday, because that will be the first triple-digit day of the season, with my forecast high for Boise 101, but there will be other places throughout the valley that make it to 102, perhaps even 103. I know we're splitting hairs there when you call hot hot. That's just what it is. So we've got some true summer heat on the way for us for the rest of this weekend. It builds into next week, and still keeping things high and dry, as I like to say, with high pressure in control. It means that, us meteorologists, we can put it on cruise control for a little while and maybe spend our efforts doing something different, getting out in the community through this Be Like Larry Day of Service. So Zoo Boise, we've got some cleaning up of the exhibits that are happening behind me here, and Doug Petcash and I are going to be doing some beautification of the grounds, which, very ironically, you wouldn't believe this, but even as a farmer's daughter, I don't necessarily have a green thumb, but I'm sure that they'll find me something that I can be really good at, and that may even be, scoop and poop. I could do that. I could definitely do that. So we're going to be checking back in with you in just a little bit. But for now, we'll send it to break, and we'll see you in just a few minutes.
Well, today is Be Like Larry Day of Service in honor of our beloved friend, weatherman, and KTVB Community Service champion, Larry Gebert, who passed away in early April. Today would have been Larry's birthday. Here at KTVB, we're celebrating how Larry would have celebrated by giving back. And our KTVB team has already started their day of service, including our Doug Peckash, who is live right now from Zoo Boise. Doug, it looks like you guys are having so much fun out there.
We are, and it's really just getting started. Our volunteer activity is going to start right around 9 o'clock when the rest of our team gets here. But Larry really loved Zoo Boise. I bet this is probably the place where he did the most live shots that he ever did around the community, helping this nonprofit. Zoo Boise is a nonprofit, helping them raise money for different types of activities and things. And what our group today is going to be doing, you can see that Zoo Boise has great landscaping all over the place, around and near the exhibits, really to help the visitors have a great experience here. And today, we're really going to be doing some simple things like, we'll see if this actually comes out of the ground, do a little bit of weeding for the zoo. We'll throw that away a little bit later, and that kind of thing, but also creating what they call animal enrichment. You know, those like boxes that have food in them that the animals can tear open and get to the food, those kinds of things that can keep them engaged and happy here at the zoo. And there are so many things that the zoo relies on volunteers for. I'm joined now by Zoo Boise's Jeff Agosta. And Jeff, how much does the zoo rely on volunteers?
Volunteers are absolutely vital to everything we do here. Without our core volunteers, we wouldn't be able to operate the same way we are. We wouldn't be able to have the prices as low as they are to visit Zoo Boise. I mean, they do everything from helping to feed our animals, to create the diets for our animals, to run our giraffe and our sloth bear feeding that goes towards conservation, to helping our education camp. I mean, they basically do everything and pull weeds.
Yeah, and we saw one over here a little bit earlier in the
Yes.
vervet monkeys. It was scooping poop and cleaning up some other things.
That's one of our animal care volunteers, and she was doing a wonderful job of helping to make sure that exhibit is cleaned up and ready for the animals to come out and enjoy the day today.
You know, it is hashtag Be Like Larry Day of Service here. Jeff, you had a lot of interactions with Larry over the years and his many live shots. Does anything really stick out to you about Larry, the man he was, and those times that you guys spent those early mornings together with you and Steve Burns, and who was the director of the zoo, and other people?
Yeah, so when I first started, I was kind of told, you got to be here at 4:30 in the morning. It's Groundhog Day. Larry Gebert's going to be here. And I had never met Larry at that point. I obviously knew who he was, and so I was a little intimidated. I mean, he's kind of the biggest local celebrity we've ever had.
And a big celebrity, 6'6".
Yeah, and but right away he embraced me. You know, he asked me who I was. He asked questions about me, and he never forgot those details. Even when I'd run into him maybe at Winco, or I was at your guys' station, and I would be doing some sort of for something else, and he would run into me, and he would ask me how the zoo is, and he just remembered people, and he remembered those facts, and he cared, and so he made me feel very comfortable. And he passed down some knowledge to me that I think I may be the only person left on this planet to know besides Steve Burns.
All right, what is that?
That is how to speak prairie dogese. Because he would come in and for the prairie dog exhibit and the Groundhog Day, he'd do it, and he could communicate with those prairie dogs. So he actually taught me that language. So I think me and Steve Burns and Larry were the only ones. So I was like the apprentice.
We're going to have to pass that down in oral tradition, I think. So, Jeff, definitely thank you very, very much for your time today. And it is hashtag Be Like Larry Day, as I mentioned. We have crews out several different locations, 3 of them involving the city of Boise for volunteering opportunities. And really, at this time, you know, just be kind today, or do something nice. As Bree mentioned earlier, pick up a piece of trash if you see it out on your walk today. Reporting live from the zoo, we're finished for here for now. Bree will be back in just a little bit more with the weather. Back to you.
Welcome back. Well, it's finally the weekend, and aside from your day of service, there are so many events happening around the area. For some live music in our area, Boise Music Festival is returning today after 2 years. It will feature more than 100 local artists and vendors, along with headliners like the country music group Lady. And for tickets, you can visit the Boise Music Festival's website, and we'll also have this on our website at KTVB.com. Well, stay with us. We do have another hour of the Saturday morning news, including the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to overturn Roe versus Wade yesterday. We'll tell you what that means here in Idaho and how state leaders are reacting. Plus, it's Michael Vaughn's 6th birthday. Loved ones gathered to honor the missing Fruitland boy's birthday as the search continues nearly 1 year later. We'll have more after the break.
From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is the Saturday Morning News.
Welcome to the Saturday Morning News. I'm Brenda Rodriguez. Today is a very special day here in the Treasure Valley. Governor Brad Little and Boise Mayor Lauren McLean proclaimed today, Saturday, June 25th, Be Like Larry Day of Service to honor our beloved friend, weatherman, and KTVB Community Service Champion, Larry Gebert. Our KTVB team is already out there honoring the day, and we'll check in with a couple locations here on the Saturday Morning News. But before that, here's what you need to know to get your morning started. And we start with this. A homicide investigation is underway in Hayburn. Police say Hayburn City and Minidoka County officers responded to a shooting. Police say one person is in custody and there is no threat to the public there. We'll update you once there's more information.
Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand back, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What might we do?
Signs and chants as hundreds gathered in downtown Boise last night, just hours after the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. This is what it looked like in downtown Boise and cities across the country yesterday. Here in Idaho, the decision means abortions will soon be banned in most cases. We'll have more on this in just a moment. But first, President Biden condemned yesterday's decision, declaring that Roe will be on the ballot in this fall's midterm elections. Here's NBC's Peter Alexander.
A somber President Biden tonight declaring this a low moment for the nation's highest court.
It's a sad day for the court and for the country. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk.
The White House mindful of how personal this ruling is, inviting more than a dozen senior aides, all women, to witness the president calling the decision the result of an extreme ideology.
It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset the balance of our law.
Top Republicans touting the ruling as a hard-won victory.
The right to life has been vindicated. The voiceless will finally have a voice.
It will save countless innocent children.
2 prominent senators now suggest they were misled by assurances made during recent confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade's an important precedent of the Supreme Court.
A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Republican Susan Collins slamming today's decision as inconsistent with those justices' testimony. So what comes next? With his authority limited tonight, President Biden's calling on Congress to guarantee the right to an abortion. But Senate Democrats currently do not have the votes for that. The president vowing his administration will protect women's access to FDA-approved medications like abortion pills and contraception, and promising to defend a woman's ability to travel to other states where abortion remains legal. 63% of Americans do not believe Roe should be overturned. Democrats, including the nation's first woman vice president, hoping to redirect that outrage to this fall's midterm elections.
You have the final word. So this is not over.
This fall, Roe is on the ballot.
A defining cultural clash in a country now even more deeply divided.
And following yesterday's Supreme Court decision, it now means several states across the country are planning to ban abortions or put new restrictions in place. 13 states have trigger laws, including here in Idaho. Idaho's current trigger law was passed in 2020. It will take effect about 60 days from now, 30 days after the Supreme Court issues a formal judgment, which is expected in late July. The law makes abortion a felony in Idaho, with exceptions only to save the life of the mother or for cases of rape or incest, if a police report is provided. Pregnant women in Idaho seeking abortions will have to travel out of state with the nearest abortion providers in Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Colorado. And reactions are continuing to pour in. They range from support to extreme criticism. Republican Idaho Representative Megan Blacksma drafted the 2020 bill that will soon be in law.
I think it's a major win for Idaho. I mean, we are always talking about family values and what Idaho means to Idahoans, and I think this is a major deal. We are big believers in families and preserving families, and this is just one more step forward to strengthen that in the state. And I am proud to be a part of the state that's doing that.
Idaho Democrats say new laws like Idaho's trigger law will unfairly impact specific groups of women.
I think anybody with financial means is going to go to a state where it's legal. So the impact really will be on those very, very poor women, those women on the margins of society who don't have the money to head to Oregon for a day or two, who can't take the day off work, and they are likely to seek unsafe and illegal means, frankly, to get an abortion. But I think, the actual reduction in abortions is going to be trivial, if any, and it's going to impact those very lowest income folks who are already having the biggest challenges in their lives.
And the Idaho trigger law is expected to go into effect in August. And just like I mentioned earlier, today is Be Like Larry Day of Service in honor of our friend, weatherman, and KTVB Community Service Champion Larry Gebert, who passed away in early April. Today would have been Larry's 66th birthday. Here at KTVB, we're celebrating how Larry would have celebrated, by giving back. Governor Little and Boise Mayor McLean have even proclaimed Saturday, June 25th, today, as a day of service, something his family says speaks volumes to who Larry was.
I think doing nice things just spreads, and I think that's one thing. Larry has a big impact on the community, is that he did nice things every single day, and I think he's gone now, and I think that's actually something that's we have to continue it because he's gone and he can't do it anymore, and so it's up to us.
Well, we'd love for you to get involved either on your own or with us. You can share your acts of kindness and take your photos with the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. For more details on how you can participate, visit our event guide on our website at ktvb.com or text the word Larry to the number you see on your screen at 208-321-5614, and a link to more information will be sent directly to your phone. And our KTVB team is out in the community right now, including our meteorologist, Bree Eggers. Bree, where are you located this morning?
Zoo Boise, one of my favorite spots in the community, but also one of Larry's favorite spots. It was every time I'd tell him, I'm taking the kids to the zoo tomorrow, I'd say, all right, well, make sure you stop by the Larry Gebert Prairie Dog exhibit and snap a picture for me. But he was out here so many times. He was out here live so many times. And I was just thinking, as I was listening to you describe Be Like Larry Day, I'm here with a photographer who worked all the time with Larry, Teresa Palmgren, a really, really close friend to Larry as well. And she tells the amazing story of one day she needed to go car shopping and Larry said, I'm hopping in the car with you. And now she has that incredible story to tell. So, that could be something that you do today is someone just wants you to go with them to get coffee, and then maybe you could pay for that coffee, or you're walking down the Greenbelt and you see a piece of trash and you pick it up. But we'd love it for you to join us today. Use the hashtag #BeLikeLarry, share it on social media, and be part of this with us. This is a KTVB family effort day for us today, and also a community effort as well, and some really fantastic weather to do anything that you have planned for the day today and tomorrow as well. This is really the summer weekend that we've all been waiting for, so a lot of sunshine that we've had to enjoy since the sun came up early this morning. And we started with temperatures in the upper 40s and the low 50s, so a nice crisp morning. But we know close to the summer solstice, when you have a bright sunshine with all of its warming power and its burning power, it's about at its strongest all throughout the year right now, that we will be warming temperatures up very, very quickly today. So if you're trying to do something to beat the heat, you got to get out within the next hour or two, because by about lunchtime today, it's already well into the 70s, and we're headed for the mid and upper 80s for this afternoon and this evening. And also keep in mind, I mentioned the summer solstice just happening. We talked about it a little earlier in the week, these long summer nights that we get to enjoy here, the long summer evenings, I should say, where the sun stays out until 9:30. That is the case until July 1st. So enjoy those late sunsets and some beautiful backyard time, enjoying with your family and your friends. And it gets even hotter tomorrow, and even hotter yet as we head into next week. So the opening of float season couldn't come at a better time, with our first triple-digit day expected on Monday. We'll get more on the 7-day forecast and our Be Like Larry Day of Service. For now, I'm live at Zoo Boise, and we'll send it back to you in the studio, Brenda.
Well, thanks, Bree. And just like Bree mentioned, Monday will be the first day we see triple-digit temperatures this year, and it comes as the 2022 Boise River float season begins. Ada County Parks and Waterways announced yesterday that float season will officially start on Monday, June 27th. It's a tradition for so many Idahoans to get out on the river this time of year. This also means starting Monday, equipment rentals, shuttle service, and snack shack will also be up and running.
Please. Please. Bring Michael home, please. Please. Please.
The search continues for Michael Vaughn, the Fruitland boy who went missing nearly a year ago. Yesterday was his 6th birthday, and community members gathered to honor Michael and support his family. And our Tristan Lewis was there with his family and gives us the details.
Blue balloons take to the sky in honor of missing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughn.
I hope he sees him.
Friday is Michael's 6th birthday.
Today is about his beautiful face and his life that was brought here to us and everyone here 6 years ago.
The first time in 6 years his family celebrated the day without him.
He's beyond missed and beyond loved, and we need him. We need him.
Michael went missing on July 27th, 2021. Nearly a year later, not many details have been released in the investigation as to what happened to him. But Michael's family continues to stay hopeful.
He's coming home, and we're waiting for him. We're all waiting for him. Every single one of us are waiting for him, and we are going to bring him home.
Community members, many who say they've never even met Michael or did not know his family a year ago, continue to step up to help.
This is a hard day for anybody, and there's no map to this or, how to do this.
Cassidy Burns, who owns Broken Halo Barbershop in Payette, says she works constantly to get Michael's story out into the world.
We need to continue to share his face and support the family as much as possible.
Sharing Michael's face is something Jamie Toscano tries to do as much as she can, too.
I mean, I wear this when I go places and for any events and stuff, and my kids, I put pins on them too whenever we're going anywhere with high, traffic of people, and sometimes we get stopped and asked.
Michael's family says seeing the support from their community is nice. They just hope Michael will one day soon see how much he is loved in person again.
We won't ever give up. We have to stay vigilant, and as hard as it is some days, and bring him home.
We're going to bring him home. That's what drives us, because we know he's out there somewhere, and we're not going to stop.
And investigators were not able to talk on Friday. Earlier this month, Chief J.D. Huff told us he was not able to release any names of the persons of interest. He said that they had many of them, and they are working through every new lead and have been able to clear many of those leads as well. Now, Fruitland police are continuing to work with their partners with the FBI and the Idaho State Police. Huff calls this a criminal investigation because law enforcement is working on this case and has said that it is highly likely Michael has been abducted. Anyone with more information is asked to reach out to Fruitland Police or the Payette Sheriff's Department. Well, so far it's been a great start to Be Like Larry Day of Service. Many of you are already preparing to start your day of service. So when we come back, Bree Eggers will join us for a full look at your weekend weather. Stay with us.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
Good morning. We're live here at Zoo Boise this morning to celebrate philanthropist, meteorologist, our good friend Larry Gebert. It would have been his 66th birthday today, and so this is the day that we are celebrating Larry with the kind of things that Larry would do. And Zoo Boise was really one of his favorite places, I'm sure. If you've been watching KTVB for any amount of time, you know how many times Larry was out here live. In fact, there is a Larry Gebert prairie dog exhibit, and I actually asked this morning how long the sign's been up there, and we couldn't get a clear answer on that. We have to ask the 100-year-old turtle, Mr. Mack, how long that sign's been up there, but probably for a very, very long time. So we have our KTVB family, our team out here. They are working on beautification of the grounds of Zoo Boise. I'm sure you know Zoo Boise really relies very heavily on volunteers and people who, not a bad job for volunteering because you have a ton of entertainment. We're in the Gorongosa exhibit here, which is the newer portion of the zoo or newly updated portion of the zoo. And these, Jeff, remind me the monkeys. These monkeys are vervet monkeys, which are highly entertaining. Don't be weird, monkey. But that's what we get to look at as we're around here doing the beautification of the grounds. They did clean up their now they're getting into a little fight. Anyway, we'll get some video of them later too. In any case, beautiful weather for anything that you have planned for this weekend. I think this is the weekend that we've really all been waiting for. And we kept saying that over and over and over again, but you know it's true because finally, a weekend without any rain. A whole lot of sunshine. It looks like summer as high pressure continues to build into the area. It will keep us high and dry, so I don't have a drop of rain in the forecast. In fact, I even took out the breeze from yesterday. We had the wind and the breezy conditions through the last couple of days. Not the case today. It will be heating up rather quickly, so remember to limit your time outside in direct sunlight between 10 and 4. Take frequent breaks, especially if you're doing hard labor like our team here, and drink lots of water as well as slather on the sunscreen. Temperatures for the Treasure Valley expected to rise into the mid and upper 80s today. A similar story for the Magic Valley as well, low to mid 80s. And in our mountain communities, probably finally able to get out on the lake and do some water skiing, something else that Larry loved, with temperatures in our mountain valleys getting into the mid and upper 70s today. This is about 5 degrees above seasonal averages, but again, a lot more like summer should be. And it gets even hotter tomorrow and even hotter yet as we get into Monday. Our first triple-digit day of the season is what we're expecting for Monday. 101 is my forecast high for Boise, but there will be some areas in the Treasure Valley that get up to 102, 103 even. But it will be our first very hot day of the season, of the summer season. And typically we would see that first triple-digit day somewhere around the first week of July. If you remember last year, an incredibly hot summer. Just to put things in perspective, our first triple-digit day was on June 3rd when it was 103 degrees, and I think at that time we were all saying a little too hot, a little too quickly. So now we're settling into summer, and we have beautiful weather to enjoy through the 7-day forecast, which you can always find at ktvb.com as well. But we're going to be out here at Zoo Boise. We have the rest of our KTVB team and family at several locations throughout the valley this morning. Another project that we'll be working on after the beautification process here, pulling weeds in the ground, out of the ground, we are going to do animal enrichment because next Saturday is the Red, White, and Zoo event, celebrating Zoo Boise and the incredible animals and the incredible people that are here. So when we talk about animal enrichment, I said, come on, you've got to be a little more specific. What exactly are we talking about here? We're going to be making sort of grab bag boxes or little gifts for each of the animals here, some of the animals here, because they love to rip open their boxes. It's a lot of fun to watch them do that and discover what's inside. So I'm really looking forward to that part of the project today as well. So use the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. Come and join us today. Do a random act of kindness. Buy a cup of coffee for a friend or a neighbor. And we'll be right back after a quick break. For now, live at Zoo Boise, I'm Bree Eggers.
Today is Be Like Larry Day of Service in honor of our friend, weatherman, and KTVB Community Service Champion Larry Gebert, who passed away in early April. Today would have been Larry's 66th birthday. And here at KTVB, we're celebrating just how Larry would have celebrated, and that's by giving back. To honor him, our Jim Duthie is live right now from the Idaho Food Bank in Meridian. Jim, how's it going out there?
Good morning, Brenda. Yeah, happy birthday, Larry. And this is a wonderful way to give back to him and to the community. So many of his friends and family are involved today in this Be Like Larry Day of Service. And I'm here at the Idaho Food Bank Distribution Center in Meridian. As you can see behind me, we've got lots of volunteers here today. They are putting together boxes of food. We've got a lot of frozen food today. We've got ground beef, we've got pork roasts, French fries and other things, and that's all going to be boxed up, as you can see, taken out of the big boxes and putting them into individual boxes for distribution to families who are food insecure, who need to pick up a little bit of extra food to make things stretch in their own families. And we're so glad to be part of this. This is a very special day to all of us. And I want to introduce you. You already know her. Karen Vaughn is the director of the Idaho Food Bank. And Karen, you've been in this position many times before. A lot of activities where we get volunteers to help. You rely on volunteers. What is the importance of a day like this?
Well, first of all, we're very honored to be able to participate in this activity to recognize Larry and for the incredible support that he has given to so many nonprofits. We always felt like we were Larry's favorite, but I think he made all of the nonprofits feel like that in giving his time and his focus and his energy to promoting our cause and helping people understand how they could give back to the community. We couldn't do this work without the volunteers. It just wouldn't be possible. And when we look at the hours that are donated, I have 79 employees statewide. And when we look at the volunteer hours donated, it's an additional 25 employees. And without that dedication and that donation of their time, we wouldn't be able to reach as many Idahoans as we're able to today.
And that's amazing, too. That's something special about Idaho. We always see that going on. And there's a need, obviously, and in the last couple of years, perhaps that need is even greater. Can you describe that?
Well, we certainly saw a sharp increase during the pandemic time. We saw an immediate 30% increase in the amount of food that we were needing to distribute across the state. That did come down a little bit over the last year, but I can tell you in the last 6 months, we're seeing starting to tick up again. And so that's our responsibility, and our commitment then is to increase that service so that families have that access. They don't have to wonder where their next meal is going to come from. We can make that available at the community level.
And I think you mentioned that you partner with hundreds of different companies to get the food donations that you provide to families.
Oh, the donors in Idaho are absolutely amazing. Our food donors from the agricultural community, the grocery stores, the food manufacturers, over and over again, they're willing to step up and offer some highly nutritious food. It's not just the pounds of food that matter. This is highly nutritious food.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. We appreciate all the work you do and all of our volunteers as well. I'm going to have Paul, our photographer, kind of pan out again to look at the activity out here. It's like a beehive, isn't it? And inside those boxes, we've got chubs of ground beef, we've got pork roast, we've got big bags of shoestring potatoes, all of this destined for families in need here in Idaho. So a wonderful project, and we want you to be like Larry and just do a little act of service, a little act of kindness, anything you can do to further the idea. It's a way of life, isn't it? Not just a one-time event, but making service a way of life and benefiting Idaho all the way around. So with that, I'll toss it back to you, Brenda, here at the Distribution Center for the Idaho Food Bank in Meridian on this Larry Gebert Day of Service.
Yeah, Jim, and you mentioned, just like you guys mentioned, volunteers are always needed. So this is a great opportunity for you, the community out there, to join the Idaho Food Bank in Meridian to volunteer on this beautiful day. So we'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back. Well, June is Elder Abuse Awareness Month. It's a time to highlight the forms of abuse and provide support to those who are experiencing this. To help that initiative, the Nampa Family Justice Center held their first ever Lean On Me walk yesterday. I also spoke to a survivor who is now on a mission to spread awareness.
I hope it ends soon, whatever the episode was, or trying to figure out not to upset him or what's going to set him off.
Jill Norquist is a survivor of abuse. She says these are the thoughts that would go through her mind in those moments. She experienced abuse since the start of her marriage.
He and we'd been married before. We were married in 91 and I divorced him in 92. And I divorced because of physical abuse at the time.
But it wasn't long until she found herself back in that environment.
I thought, well, times changed. I figured he grew out of it. or changed himself or got help for it, whatever he needed to do.
When you think of elder abuse, many people think it comes in the form of violence, but Jill says there are other signs of abuse like
verbal abuse, emotional abuse.
She says many people don't realize or recognize these as forms of abuse. Instead, she said she classified them differently.
Verbal abuse continuously, but I called it stress. Emotional abuse, I didn't even call it anything, and I did not realize that because I'd be isolated for months without being able to talk to somebody.
After many years of abuse, Jill said it was enough. That's when Jill reached out to the Family Justice Center in Nampa.
I came in and they did an intake, got me plugged into groups, got me plugged into counseling. So fast forward, I'm now a survivor.
The Family Justice Center helps victims of domestic violence, child abuse, and sexual assault.
Our mission is to promote safety, self-sufficiency, and hope and healing to those affected by abuse.
The assistant project manager at the Justice Center, Alyssa Groen, says 6 months into 2022, the Justice Center has already seen a record number of elder abuse cases here in Idaho.
Every month, I feel like we're setting a new record of how many victims are coming in. I think especially for our elders, so many have been isolated, so we're seeing a lot more abuse coming through our doors.
And to help spread elder abuse awareness this month, the Justice Center is hosting their first Lean On Me walk in Nampa on Friday.
Statistically, 1 out of 10 adults 60 and older are abused. And so we want to make sure that we're lowering that number. And I think by providing awareness and just, really it's going to be a fun event.
Jill says that she hopes this walk will help more victims get the help they need.
You are worth living. You have value. The situation that you're going through, there is hope on the other side.
From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is the Saturday Morning News.
Abortions in Idaho will soon be banned in most cases. This after the U.S. Supreme Court voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Several states across the country are now planning to ban abortions or put new restrictions in place. 13 states have trigger laws, including Idaho. Idaho's current trigger law passed in 2020. It will take about 60 days from now, 30 days after the Supreme Court issues a formal judgment, which is expected in late July. The law makes abortion a felony in Idaho with exceptions only to save the life of the mother or for cases of rape or incest if a police report is provided. Pregnant women in Idaho seeking abortion will have to travel out of state with the nearest abortion providers in Washington, Oregon, Nevada, and Colorado.
My stomach dropped. I felt really, really sad. I knew it was coming, but this was something that just was heartbreaking to think that it really, truly did happen.
And both people on both sides of the aisle are speaking out yesterday about the Supreme Court's landmark ruling, some who support its decision to strike down Roe v. Wade, and some who are passionately against overturning the nearly 50-year precedent. Yesterday, we went to downtown Boise to hear your thoughts. Those who considered themselves pro-life were not willing to speak with us on camera. Most of them said they don't feel comfortable coming out publicly with that opinion. Others told us the right to abortion is a private and personal health care decision.
Especially living in a state like Idaho, it's really scary to just think that, especially when they can take away such a fundamental right as right to health care, that they'll continue to take away other things.
We also spoke with Planned Parenthood, who says that they will be working with other neighboring states that have accessible abortions, but lower income and rural people may have trouble getting to these states for an abortion. Planned Parenthood says they're focusing on helping Idahoans who want to get abortions get past those hurdles. Well, it is Larry Gebert Day of Service today, and our Bree Eggers is at Zoo Boise this morning. Bree, many people are going to be honoring this day. They're going to be out and about. So what can we expect?
Well, we have fantastic weather. If you've stepped outside at all this morning, you know that that's to be true, but then you also know that it's very comfortable right now with temperatures in the mid-60s throughout throughout the Treasure Valley, so we also know that it will be heating up very, very quickly. And for highs this afternoon, we're looking for temperatures to be somewhere between 3 and 5 degrees above average. What a change in weekend weather, right? From the last couple of months of weather that we've had over the weekend. It's finally summer, and it's expected to feel and look like summer as well. A whole lot of sunshine to enjoy today, so make sure that you take frequent breaks between 10 and 4 in that direct sunlight. Slather on a lot of sunscreen. We're at Zoo Boise enjoying this beautiful morning, and this is one of the projects that I think is really giving me some incredible life skills, because I don't know about you, but when I get my Amazon shipments or my whatever shipments, they just kind of like end up as a built box in my garage. So what we're doing here is we're breaking down these boxes, making sure there's no tape on them, and then painting them for the Red, White, and Zoo event next Saturday for the animal enrichment. It's like a grab bag for the animals, for them to break into a box. They actually really love boxes. I feel like that's a really normal thing. You buy that great present for your child or your cat, for example, and then they just think, I want the box, or the wrapping, or the bow. So our KTVB family, some community volunteers, we're out here at Zoo Boise. Please join us in these efforts today of Be Like Larry Day of Service. Anything that just comes into your day that you didn't even plan on. Picking up a piece of trash off the ground, checking in on a neighbor, maybe just even allowing somebody to tell you a really long story. Larry would, but don't you think that's appropriate? Larry would love to just tell you a story. We're going to be out here at Zoo Boise for a little bit longer here, and for now, we'll send it back to you in the studio, Brenda.
Well, thank you, Bree. Now turning over to COVID-19. COVID-19 vaccine appointments for younger kids are available in the Treasure Valley. This week, Central District Health Location started administering shots for kids 6 months and older. There are still some appointments available at the Boise, McCall, and Mountain Home clinics. And to make an appointment, you can call Central Health's Family and Clinic Services at 208-324-7400. Well, a sunny and dry weekend ahead. Our Bree Eggers will be right back with your full weather forecast. Stay with us.
From News Channel 7, time for 7 First Alert weather.
Well, all morning we've been out here at Zoo Boise, one of our favorite places, and also one of Larry Gebert's favorite places to be. Right? He did a number of live. Could you even guess?
Here? Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. I'd say dozens.
Yeah.
Easily, for sure. Because, it was every Groundhog Day because of the Prairie Dog, Boise Bill. Larry and the former zoo director, Steve Burns, would be here, and Boise Bill would either see a shadow or not. So, every year for all of those, and then for so many events, like the one that's coming up next weekend.
Yeah.
And Red, White, and Zoo. I don't know if that one existed back then, but so many different events. Yeah, he loved this place.
Yep, and we honestly, I feel like this is an honor, because you think about, volunteering and pulling weeds, for example, and you're like, okay, it's a little bit of work, and this is arts and crafts in the zoo right now.
What are we doing here?
We're animal enrichment for Red, White, and Zoo. And Doug, I believe that you even helped me out with a visual aid for the forecast.
This is for the forecast.
Yes. So as you can see, Doug is giving us hot molten sun. The sun will not be melting off of a box, but
This is particularly for Monday or Tuesday.
Correct. Monday when it reaches triple digits, absolutely, yeah. So finally a summer forecast that we've been waiting for, and not a drop of rain, Doug.
Right.
I like what you've done here.
I guess we should also explain that we're painting these boxes
Yes.
that they're going to put like toys or food in for the animals, and then they'll be kind of sealed up the old-fashioned way. No tape on here. No stickers, no staples, and then the animals can, dig through the boxes and their surprise inside.
Well, and now I feel like I finally know what to do with all of those boxes that are hanging out in my
Donate them
garage.
to the
I had
zoo.
no idea, yeah. But they really rely on volunteer efforts here at Zoo Boise, and we're going to be out here for a couple more hours as well, still doing more work around the grounds. But what is this day for you, Doug?
Happy birthday, Larry.
Yeah.
To me, it's just about doing something that Larry would really appreciate. I think he'd be very proud of everybody in the community and the KTVB team for being out and just being kind, doing something nice. It doesn't have to be an organized volunteer effort like this. It's just about being nice to our neighbors and friends and strangers. And, I think that's what it's all about for him. That's what his wife, Julie, told me, too. It was just be kind.
Yeah.
Just do something nice for somebody.
Well, and I truly believe, I don't think that Larry ever would have retired. I think he really loved what he did, and he loved to work every day in his life. But he did mention to our wonderful Angie Battle, she helps put together all of these events that we do at KTVB, that he didn't need a party. He didn't want to celebrate retirement with a party. He wanted a day of service. And so I think this is the perfect thing, and he is certainly looking down on us and very proud of really the example that he made for us.
And you know, the Mayor McLean, Lauren McLean, and Governor Brad Little both declared this, or proclaimed this officially, Larry Gebert Day of Service. So big honor for Larry. I know he would appreciate that so much. And it means a lot to us too, of course, because of how much of a friend he was of ours.
Absolutely.
But it's not a sad day. This is a happy day of doing something that Larry would love. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a party. So we're really lucky to be out here, and I think that someone may have had a hand in the great weather.
I don't see a cloud anywhere.
Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. And temperatures, at least for today, are a little bit more comfortable warmth. Yeah, too much of that. Wear your sunscreen.
Oh, I did.
Larry would also say that as well. He'd tell you a story about sunscreen and the first time that he wore sunscreen and all the who invented sunscreen. He probably knew that as well. So this is honestly just a really fun day to celebrate what would have been Larry Gebert's 66th birthday.
Sunscreen.
Spending it together as a KTVB family. We're live at Zoo Boise. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Today is Be Like Larry Day of Service in honor of our friend, weatherman, and KTVB Community Service champion Larry Gebert, who passed away in early April. Today would have been Larry's 66th birthday, and here at KTVB, we're celebrating how Larry would have celebrated, and that's by giving back. And to honor him, our 208 team is live at the Morris Hill Cemetery. Hey guys, how's it going out there?
Hey, good morning. Yes, we're at the Morris Hill Cemetery this morning in the Boise area. We got a great group out here with us. Of course, we've got our friends from News Channel 7 out here this morning, but we're also joining the Daughters of the American Revolution, as well as some other community service people that are going to be in our community. And we've got two separate operations going on down here at the cemetery. You can see all the way down at the far end, we got a group of people that are actually working to realign all the headstones here. And some of these have been here for close to 100 years. You've got some real old-time war veterans that are real American heroes that are buried here in the cemetery. And you can see that some of these headstones over the years, they'd have gotten very, very dirty. And that's just the way these things go. They've been here for decades and decades. This has been a spot where the community's been able to go pay tribute to American heroes and friends and family that we've lost here in our community. But we want to make it look really nice. And we know that Larry actually loved history, and he loved studying the American military complex. And so we know that this would mean a lot to him here this morning. His son is a war veteran. We know that he was very close with the community and different American leadership organizations. So this morning, a great opportunity for us out here to clean these headstones up. Of course, the other crew we talked about, they are lining up some headstones. So we'll be out here all morning long trying to clean up as many headstones as possible. Andrew, we know that this is something Larry would have loved to do.
Yeah, I know, and it's really cool seeing everybody come together. We know that this is a really important day to show respect to Larry, show some respect to the community, and that's just something that he stood for continuously, and that was his entire legacy. And it really is outstanding to see all these people come out. There's even a group here that showed up where, what group are you people from? Some from KTVB. You said Daughters of the American Revolution. There's a group that just said they heard about it, they wanted to come out and support, and that's outstanding.
And that's what we use the hashtag Be Like Larry. That's what we talk about. There's a lot of things that we all know about Larry, but one thing that a lot of the community doesn't know is he did a lot of community service, a lot of nonprofit work on his own time. You would catch him on the weekends without a camera around, without anybody around, doing something to give back to the community. It wasn't a gimmick. It wasn't something he did on TV. It's something that he really believed in. And so it's great to have everybody out here this morning working on this great community project, getting a little bit of the elbow grease going. But this is a really cool historic place in Boise. Of course, we have the monument to the Union soldiers, actually going to turn 100 years old next year. So a little bit of context of just how old some of the stuff here is. But Brenda, we're going to be out here for the next several hours cleaning up here at the cemetery, really getting the elbow grease in. You can see a lot of the great volunteers making some awesome progress this morning. It's really just about giving your all and giving back to the community. That's what we're doing all morning long across the community, and we hope all of you can join us out in the community at some point.
Yes, it truly is. Well, thank you so much out there. It looks like you guys, it's really nice to see everyone just come together and do this for our community. community, and that's something that Larry Gebert would have loved to see. So thank you so much, guys. Well, again, we'd love for you to get involved either on your own or with us. You can share your acts of kindness and take your pictures with the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. And for more details on how you can participate, visit our event guide on our website at ktvb.com or text the word Larry to the number that you see on your screen, and a link will be sent to your phone. We'll be right back after the break. It is finally the weekend, and aside from the date of service today, there are many events happening around our area, including if you're looking for a fun way to celebrate the first week of summer, the National Old Time Fiddlers Contest and Festival is now in full swing in Weiser. The contest runs through today, and people of all ages fiddling in front of a live audience. People can also stream the event on YouTube and the festival's Facebook page. And for more live music, Boise Music Festival is returning after 2 years. It will feature more than 100 local artists and vendors, along with headliners like the country music group Lady A. For tickets, you can visit the Boise Music Festival's website and also our website at ktvb.com. And also back for after 2 years, that is the World Village Festival. This event focuses on the international arts and cultures with more than 15 international cultures represented. Dance groups, musicians, and food and drink vendors will all be there. It started yesterday, but it will end on Sunday, so you still have some time to go check it out. And right after the break, we're gonna, before we let you go today, we're gonna check in on weather just to see how it's going for your weekend. Well, before we go this morning, let's go ahead and check in with Bree Eggers, who is live from Zoo Boise. And Bree, you were talking about how you guys were making interactive boxes. How's that going out there?
You know, fantastic. And I am very impressed with the skill and artistry that our team has. Nice job, Doug. Hashtag be like Larry. And on the other side, you have part of the forecast, right? Still, yeah, the hot, melting sun. Yes, with high burning power, as I always say. Make sure you slather on the sunscreen today. We will be reaching highs that are in the mid to upper 80s this afternoon, somewhere between 3 and 5 degrees above seasonal averages. But this is truly the summer weekend that we have waited all spring for, and now that we're finally into summer, we can put our feet up a little bit, kind of put it in cruise control and enjoy the summer heat, which gets even hotter tomorrow into the 90s, and then come Monday, our first triple-digit day of the season expected. And be sure to join us today. Use the hashtag #BeLikeLarry. I'll send it back to you, Brenda.
Well, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day today.